Okay, so here we are up at the top. Right, if we look at the plan, whatever that is, where's the plan gone? Okay, here's the plan. We just walked up here, and now originally this was going to be rather more complicated than it is now, right? You had a pagoda and like a castle wall all the way around, so it's a bit more adventurous than we actually have. But what we ended up was just the pagoda and this kind of plaza at the top of the hill. Now the pagoda was these were my original ideas and sketches for the pagoda, right? And the idea was to get as many different experiences, like spatial experiences, if you like, into a relatively small structure, right? Certainly tiny by Hong Kong standards, right? So the idea is you walk into the bottom, and this is an open aviary area, and you can see that the structure is standing on one big column in the middle, and in fact we can see that here. Look at the base. We can see the basic idea stayed, right? The massive column at the bottom, because I wanted to have this area really light and airy and open at the bottom, and not have what the engineers wanted, right? Which was just a great big sort of tripod, you know, with big structures coming out the side. Engineers will always say you've got to have, you've got to do that. Of course, it's more stable, but I wanted it to look completely different and make this bottom area as open and airy as possible. So it's actually the whole thing is standing on one giant column, and then it's braced, you know, with these secondary structures around the outside. Right? So, and then this bottom area. So when you go in and you start to go up the stairs, you go up through an aviary, right? So this is all open and that's what we have. We have here. And sadly, it's shut, right, because of the flu, right? Because of the flu alarm, the whole thing is closed down because this aviary area is full of birds, right? So you know, highly likely to stick your hand on some bird poo if you go in there. So I suppose they just shut it down. Then once you've gone up through the aviary, you then go inside this totally enclosed section, and you go up through this enclosed section where you're completely inside this concrete structure, right? And then you pop out. Hello. You pop out onto a series of kind of open floors, which is basically what we have. So if you look up at these 1, 2, 3 floors here, you can see that the column has widened out, you know, into the concrete structure, and the staircase is inside that. So you're completely enclosed. Then suddenly you pop out, right, onto like the 5th or 6th floor, and you pop out, and then you look out over the whole of Yuen Long, right? And then you can go right up to the very top. It's 13 stories in all, because it has to apparently be an odd number. It mustn't be an even number. So it's 13 stories tall, and but you get a whole different series of experiences going up there. What I'll do is I'll dig out some photographs from last year's trip here, so that you can see what the view is like from the top. So it was so disappointing not being able to go up there, because it really shows how the topography and the structure and the way it's been located on the topography, how we're really using the topography to get a completely different view and experience. Basically, you come up through the park, you've got the trees overhead, you're always sort of searching and looking around the next corner, you don't know what's happening. And then you go up into the top of the structure and ta-da, you have this fantastic view over the top. So you really get a variety of experiences and feelings.